All right, Skope TV, we are here. We have got the goon of all goons on the phone. Plies, what's happening, brother?
What's happening, man? How you doing?
All right, I'm doing good. How you doing tonight?
Good, man. Trying to stay busy, man. Trying to make sure I do what it takes to continue to have a successful situation.
Haha. Well, that's no problem. Now, just so everybody knows out here, Plies is coming up on his 4th album, Goon Affiliated, which is going to come out in, September?
No, we're looking right now. We just came from New York, man. We're looking at October 6th. Actually, what I'm trying to do is actually continue to gauge this single that's out here working for me right now. The new Becky record, man. And I think everything looking like a great recipe for a successful situation.
All right. Well, let's get right into this Q&A we got going here tonight. So, what you been up to today, Plies, and where are we speaking from tonight?
I'm in Tampa right now, man. I just got out of the studio probably about, I'd say about 45 minutes ago. Just about to stop and grab a bite to eat in a little bit, man, and take care of some more stuff on the business end.
Okay. Now, your new track, Becky, is classic. The lyrics are very sexual and raw. Being from Fort Myers, how much influence would you say the Two Live crew have had on your writing style today? Just how open you are, really, with the ladies.
For me, I think I always try to create my own niche, try to stay in my own lane, per se, and kind of try to patent my abilities off my everyday lifestyle. And I think for me, a lot of times, sexual content get really, I guess, jumped all over in some regards. But for me, I tell people all the time, man, I think each and every one of us, last I know, are here and created through sex. So for me, I don't try to shy away from those edgy topics, should I say.
Now, when you put out Shorty, which is really the track that put you on the map, did you know that song was gonna blast your career?
For me, man, I always try to tell people one thing I try to do on my end is make the most solid and honest music that I can possibly make. I think anytime you're dealing with radio, that I've learned from more of a business aspect, there's a lot of things that factor into a successful radio record. For me, it was a true blessing of mine to actually be a part of a situation, to have another guy on the record with me that was from Florida, at the same time in T-Pain, and for me to come out of the box, my first national look for the #1 record, I was more than satisfied with that situation.
All right. Now, you've got a versatile flow. You can do street tracks, you can do soulful tracks. What goes into like the difference between when you're gonna make a street track versus when you're gonna make a track that's more soulful, more for the ladies?
I think for me, man, I'm no different than yourself. I think I'm not a one-dimensional human being. Like for me, I'm not mad every day, so I don't make mad records every day. I'm not in a sexual mood 24/7, so I don't make all sexual type of music. For me, I don't never force myself to record music. I try to always do it from an honest space, and whatever I went through on a day-to-day basis, I try to put it on a piece of paper and bring it to life. And I think for me, that's been a huge part of my success, because I'm not an artist that's, I guess one-dimensional when it comes to making music. I think I'm one of the few artists that the country has accepted the different diversified songs that I brought to the table, and that's one thing that makes my situation real special.
Now, I love to ask artists who've really taken off and had success. I love to ask this question: how was your life like in Fort Myers before the deal and before the fame?
For me, man, I know you hear a lot of times artists tell you that they was balling, they was rich before their situation took off. For me, man, I was trying to do whatever I could at that present time, man, to continue to provide for myself. And I think for me, to kind of look back on where my career is at now, and understanding, where I come from in such a small town in Fort Myers, actually to be the first, I guess, street dude, in my opinion, to actually make it on a national level, it means a lot to me, man, because I can remember, 6-7 years ago, doing my independent thing through the mixtape circuit, and not really concerning myself with ever being a household name, but to see the power of radio, to see the power of television, that puts you in front of millions and millions of people. I think a lot of times your life can change, and if you're not prepared for it, it can send you in the wrong direction.
Well said. Well said. Now, do you still go back to your old hood and kick it with your peoples?
For me, bro, it's so important, man, for me to understand the circumstances that I'm dealing with. I think a lot of times I done found myself in certain situations that I felt was being what a lot of people like to call real, and it put me in some uncomfortable situations. But at the same time, I'm a stand-up individual, and anytime I make any decision, I don't look back on it. So for me to have the opportunity, man, to go back home, actually I got to go back to Fort Myers tomorrow for a funeral. For me, I try to give myself as much open visibility as possible. I think it's important for a lot of people to see me in the current situation that I'm in, but to really understand of how important I feel maturity is in terms of from a knowledge standpoint. A lot of things that I thought were right 4 years ago, I beg to differ at this point in my life and a point in my career. So for me, no different than going home tomorrow, man, for a funeral. I always try to get by and see family members and also see people that were important to me, just to let them know that regardless of my situation, I do understand there's people still going through the same struggles that I was once going through.
Now, there seems to be a lot of hate in hip-hop once your career gets to a certain point. How do you ignore the hate and just keep doing you and keep putting out hit records?
I think for me it's important. I told myself early on in my career, the same thing I tell you and I share with everybody. You know, never allow yourself to be concerned with people that if you die, they wouldn't come to your funeral anyway. So for me, that's kind of my motto. That's kind of how I live my life. I don't know one person in the world that everybody loves. And by me understanding that, you know, I don't let opinionated situations get me off track at all. I think anytime you're comfortable with who you are as a person, it's hard to be knocked off your rocker. I think when you're still trying to find yourself as a person, it's easy to get wavered. And I think I'm probably one of the most comfortable individuals in this game with who I am as a person.
Now, does the beef between other Florida rappers like Trick Daddy, T-Pain, Dirtbag, or Rick Ross, does that bother you? And do you feel that that does more good or more bad for Florida MCs in general?
I think it happens with any region. I think you go around and do your research on hip-hop in general. I think anytime you get regions that get their turn up to bat, I don't think no region has been exempt from that. I feel on my end, one thing I love about life is that I understand it. And I know I can't stop any other individual's growth, nor can I stop their financial income. So by me understanding that, I know there's nobody can stop me. I'm the only person that can stop me. And I think anytime you allow yourself to get in a shouting match with any other individual, you put yourself in a real vulnerable place. So for me, I feel like anything in life, if you don't feed it, it eventually dies. That's just how I go about my business.
Now, at your level, Plies, what's your favorite aspect of being an MC day in and day out in your position? What do you love the most? The limos, the private jets? What's your favorite part? Meeting with the fans? What it is?
Favorite part about it to me, man, is to actually understand that I'm making music that's helping people get through day-to-day trials and tribulations and struggles in their life. For me, I had an opportunity to meet with a female individual who actually wrote me from prison. She told me that she was going to kill herself. She had planned to kill herself the same night that she heard this record called Somebody Love You that I did on, I think it was my second album. And after she heard that song on the radio, she cried. And she changed her mind about killing herself. I think for me, those things that are more important to me than any amount of cars that I can buy, any amount of money that I can spend on jury. And I think at the end of the day, you know, like I told you earlier, I think it's about understanding life. And that's the biggest thing that I like to pride myself in when it comes to this music business, because you're only smart as what you know. And I tell people all the time, it's not about you being smart, it's just about people being dumb. So for me, I think that's the thing that I love about this game the most, is to be able to get feedback from the people who are supporting.
That's it. We're going to take a quick break. Skope TV, we got Plies on the line. This is some real shit right here.